Hey everybody, it's David coming to you today from the Moxie Hotel in at the Munich airport. Getting ready to fly home, and we'll spend tonight and tomorrow here. Going to grade some papers today, do a few things, and then hop out on Thursday to come back to the States. Um, I wanted to just talk briefly. Oh, by the way, ECBA 402, Human Resources, and in this particular discussion board this week, it talks about money and compensation, okay? And I know the book presents things from a certain perspective. I also look at things from a different perspective sometimes. And I'm going to attach to this discussion board post an article, or a link to an article from the Harvard Business Review that talks about money as a motivator. It asked the question, does money affect motivation? And this was a study that was done in 2013. And so the question, does money engage employees? They looked at 92 different quantitative studies. They had a test pool of about 15,000 people and looked at the correlation between job satisfaction and pay. And interestingly enough, wait for it, only a 2% correlation between job satisfaction and pay. Is that what you think when you think about compensation? Don't you think compensation is like the key motivator for folks? Well, it's not. Gallup conducted an additional study that went much broader than this. They conducted it with 1.4 million people, 192 organizations, over 49 industries from 34 countries. So if you just want to look at this from a perspective of, is it United States or does it affect other countries? Well, this study was over 34 countries, and what they found was the same thing. Money does not buy employee engagement. Well, they have some other things that they talk about in that article. I'm not going to go into it now, but I would encourage you to read that article. It's very, very interesting as it relates to studies on compensation and employee engagement. Okay. By the way, the Moxie Hotel is kind of a cool deal here. It's under one of the Marriott flags, so it's a Marriott flagged company, just like Courtyards and Fairfield Inns and JW Marriotts and so on and so on. But what they're doing is they are targeting the millennials. And I know what you're thinking. Dave, you're far from millennial, so why are you staying at a Moxie? It just happens to be a Marriott hotel close to the airport, and I like Marriotts. But this is a really cool place because what they're doing is the common areas here are huge. I mean, they are absolutely massive. And the sleeping rooms are relatively small. And they do that because they've done research that says millennials want to hang out with other folks. And so that's why, again, I'm the oldest guy down here, but if I looked back towards the kitchen, the bar, I mean, this is big. A lot of common areas to sit, a lot of other places to just hang out. And so I thought I'd share that with you. Don't know why, but it's just kind of an interesting concept. I always look at things from a hospitality perspective because of my background. I look at it and I go, I wonder why they do that. Well, that's exactly why they do that, because they've done research that says young folks want to hang out. All right. Well, I'll be home on Thursday, but by the time you see this, I will already be home. So just have a great week, and take a look at this article and read it. I hope you find it interesting.